Lolo Baby, available in soft vanilla, lavender dreams, and plain and simple, has been a big hit among OBGYN staff, new moms, daycare personnel, and men over 60. A swipe on the diaper area, a bit for a massage, or something to help with cradle cap, we understand. But why are men buying this? So we asked. We just had to know. And they told us. They are buying Lolo Baby and using it for itch, heat, and chafing in their southern hemisphere. We pressed on with our somewhat awkward questions, and we found out that while they loved Lolo Baby, they wanted two things to be different: the label and a cooling element. So along came Southern Comfort. Don't let the mustache on the label lead you to think it's only for men. Women are buying it as well, and yes, we had to ask. And we were told they were using it for all the same reasons, though they used different words like friction and rash. Southern Comfort is ideal for those that bike, pedal, or motor, those that wear skirts with no pantyhose, and those that could just use some comfort in their southern hemisphere. Southern Comfort is for external use only. To buy, visit www.bar-maids.com. Hi and welcome, and thanks so much for joining me today. It has been 3 weeks since I last recorded a podcast. You have been seeing the tutorials that I've been doing the last couple of weeks, but it almost feels like forever since I recorded the last podcast. But there has been lots of knitting since the last podcast. In fact, I think there were some finished objects that I'm going to show that were finished prior to the last podcast, but I don't think I showed them on the last podcast. So I am going to show you some finished objects, and this is going to be all about the knitting this week. We have lots of drawings that are coming up, but I'm going to save those for the next episode that I record. We have the Cascadia drawing for a free ebook, and we also have the drawing for the mystery knit along that we just finished up just before Thanksgiving. But I'm going to save that for the next podcast, and on the next podcast I will have another book review for you. I'm not going to get into everything that's happened in the last 3 weeks because honestly, I don't think I could remember what happened in the last 3 weeks. So, like I said, everything today is going to be all about the knitting. So let's jump right into some finished objects. And I'm going to show you my finished objects from prior to my last recording that I never showed you before. The first one is my featherweight cardigan. I actually finished this up right before leaving for Knittin' in the Mitten. The last time I showed it to you, I was working on the collar or the button band. That's not really a button band, but that is all finished up. I did do a 1x1 rib rather than doing the stockinette. So I did a 1x1 rib on that, and I really like how that came out. And I really like the sweater. Unfortunately, because of all the crap that I've been eating, I don't think this is going to fit me right now. But I know that in a couple weeks when I get back on my diet and everything, I will have no problem fitting into the sweater. But it is done. I love it. I love the colors. I don't know what else I can say about it. I just love it. I'm going to make a pair of socks out of the leftover yarn, and I will have matching socks. And I might even have enough for some mitts or some fingerless mitts or something. I'm really enjoying the fingerless mitts lately. So that is the first finished object. It hasn't been blocked. I still have the ends to weave in, but it is complete. And really, honestly, I haven't even tried it on since I finished it, and it may fit me. I don't know. It was a little snug when I was working on it, but I think if I blocked it out or if I soaked it and then laid it out to flat to dry, I think that I would be able to stretch it just the tiny bit that it needed to be stretched in order to fit me. But like I said, I haven't tried it on. I should just take some time and weave in the ends and block it and see how it fits. I just haven't done that yet. Like I said, it's been a crazy busy couple of weeks. We had the holiday in there, and anyway, again, lots of knitting though. And then I finished a cowl at Knitting in the Mitten. And I didn't show you this last time. I think last time I didn't show you any knitting because I had so much to talk about. So here's my finished object from Knitting in the Mitten. This is made with one of the colorways that Heather of Highland Handmaids did for the retreat. This was the, I think just add tequila. It had tequila. I don't know if that was the exact name, but it's something with tequila in the name. And the cowl is from Lisa Dykstra. And I can't remember the name of the cowl, and you know what? I don't even think I have it on my project page. But I need to do that. I need to set that up. But it was such a quick knit. We started this on Friday night, I believe. And a bunch of us, we were kind of sitting around saying, oh, we need to start this tomorrow and get it knit up and have a finished object before the retreat. And then we're sitting there thinking, oh, why not just start it now? So about four or five of us got up and we wound our yarn and then proceeded to cast on. But I finished this up on Saturday, and it was a very quick knit. It is actually fingering weight yarn held double, and honestly, I've been wanting to try this technique for the longest time. I have so much sock yarn that sometimes I don't always want to make socks with it. And this was the perfect thing for me to give it a shot, to try something a little different. So it's fingering weight yarn and it's held double. And like I said, it was a really quick knit. I want to say it took me less than 8 hours of actual knitting time to complete this cowl. And I did have some leftover yarn, and between my friends and DNA Price, who is Andrea, I got all 5 colors from the retreat colorways, and I was able to knit those into my sock yarn blanket during the retreat. But I will show you those when I show you my sock yarn blanket the next time. But this is awesome. And actually, I ordered 2 more skeins of this yarn so I could make matching mitts and socks. And I've already, I haven't received them yet, but Heather texted me a couple days ago and I finally got around to paying that invoice. But I really love it, and I really like the colors of this yarn. So another finished object. The next finished object I knit during a VKN a while ago, and it just got tucked in my bag and never came out. But it is a scrubby, and we actually learned how to make these at Knittopia 2013. I can't remember who started it, but somebody was knitting these up at the retreat, and we all thought that it was such a fantastic idea that we had to run out and get some tulle, and we had some cotton on hand, so everybody was knitting them up. And it's actually a really, really simple project, and quick too. It's just 1 strand of regular cotton, sugars and cream, or peaches and cream, or whatever cotton you like to use, and tulle, which you cut into strips of about 1 inch. And then you hold them together and you knit a little rectangle, and it's just a pot scrubby. It's I think I did 20 stitches or so. Maybe I did 18 stitches. And it's 18 stitches by 13 ridges, and you can adjust it to any way you like. But again, it's just a little scrubby, and it's just held double with the tulle. And it's going to be nice and good for pots and pans and stuff. So that's another finished object. And my last finished object, which you might be surprised, but look, I finished the crochet kitty. And you know what? It turned out so cute. All I had left to do was 1 arm and the tail and the little collar with the flower. And I did have to sew both arms on and the tail. But I think I sat down on Sunday this past weekend and just said, you know what, before I work on any other knitting project, I need to get this done. I knew it wasn't going to take me that much time to complete it, and I just kind of needed a finished object with it. I wanted to get rid of the yarn. The yarn, I think, was the major problem with why I didn't finish it quickly. I was using Karen Simply Soft. It's not the best yarn. And I think I was just frustrated with the whole thing. But I sat down on Sunday and I just went for it. I finished up the arm, and in fact, I worked up, this is the arm that I had to do. I worked up and I got to about right here and realized I forgot to change to the gray, so I had to rip it out again, which is exactly why I was having so much problem. I wasn't really paying attention to when the color changes were, and then I realized, oops, I was supposed to change color 6 rows ago and have to rip it out. But I finished it up. It's the cutest little thing, so it's my first animal for Knittopia 2014. Now, I am planning on knitting another one. I'm planning on starting another animal some point in the very near future. I think I'm going to do the jackalope next because that is one that I want to leave at the cabin, but I haven't started that yet. I'm thinking I would like to watch the Susan B. Anderson Craftsy course first. I think that's who does the Craftsy course. Before I start it, because I'm hoping that it might give me some good ideas on how to knit toys. But yeah, Crochet Kitty is done, and it's very, very cute, and I love it. And lastly, you will see I have my transitioning to winter shawl up here. The final clue went out on the 26th, and I will be posting the final totally revised pattern with all the clues and everything in one, hopefully this weekend. I needed to get some final pictures of the shawl, which I plan to do this evening after I finish recording, and then I will have the pictures to include in the pattern. So those are all my finished objects. That's a lot. But I did a lot of knitting, and I have a mound of whips to show you as well. So let's get started with those. Since we're talking about transitioning to winter, I will show you my current transitioning to winter shawl, which I was doing with the knit along. Well, I'm still working on it. And in fact, I'm still on clue number 2. I have been trying to work on it every day for at least a couple of rows, but my main goal this past week was to get my transitioning to winter socks completed so I could post that pattern. And those are also completed. Oh, I guess I can show you that as a finished object first. Forgot about that because it's buried under here. So let's go back to finished objects. I have it in my brand new bag from Knitting's My Bag. A couple weeks ago, I mentioned that I got a bag from Erin Lane Bags that's like a sock bag that has 2 separate compartments for different for your different socks. So, because you know, my yarn always gets tangled up. Well, I love Lois's bags so much. I contacted her and I said, look, can you do something like this? Can you make a project bag that's like this, that has this 2 larger pockets inside, so that I can keep my socks in there and not have my yarn all tangled up? And she says, sure, let me see what I can do. Well, she did it. And there it is. It has 2 pockets. It has, well, it's kind of one pocket with a divider. It's hard to show you, but there is a divider in there, and on either side you can put your yarn and your project. And I love it. And she also put these little things so that you can tack your yarn down when they're in there. And oh, there goes my phone. And I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's fabulous. I'm going to definitely be ordering more of these bags from Lois. I'm going to wait till after the holidays. I've kind of spent my fun money from my patterns and stuff, but I'm hoping that when the new patterns come out, I will have more fun money, and then I can buy some more bags, because I love these. I love her bags. They're fabulous. Okay, so now back to the transitioning to winter socks. I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute. I probably am. And if you're listening to me on 2 times speed, well, I really am talking a mile a minute. So my transitioning to winter socks, I finished because like I said, I wanted to get these done so that I could post the pattern. And again, I'm going to be taking some photos tonight, and hopefully the pattern will be posted in the next couple of days. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this video or within the next day after that, this pattern will be out. But you have the transitioning to winter shawl, and I had the same yarn, so I made some socks with it as well. And I'll just give you a quick view of what that pattern looks like. And there it is. I need to get some, one of those feet, mannequin feet, to be able to show you better. But there it is. It's hard. It's hard to show you because it, first of all, the camera is backwards to me because I'm not used to that. And secondly, because it's hard to put my arm up there like that. But there it is. And again, I haven't woven my ends yet. But there's the pattern, and I hope you will like it. I hope that you will consider purchasing that pattern. Like I said, I should hopefully it will be out in the next couple of days. I really enjoyed knitting this, except for I didn't really enjoy the yarn. I made this with Woolmiza, and honestly, I did the same thing that I did with this pattern that I did with the Effervescent socks. I started with a 00 for the foot, and that was perfect for the foot because I like my feet, the feet on my socks, very tight. But then when I got to the leg, I had about, I don't know, about that much on the leg, about an inch or so, just above where the pattern starts again on the leg. And I put it on and it felt a little snug. And so I was a little nervous about keeping the 00s. So I increased to a 0 after that, and it seems to be perfectly fine. But the bottom part, the foot part, I think that's what took me. It took me so long to do that because it seemed like it was really tight because it was the 00s. And it was just really hard on my hands. For some reason, that Woolmiza, when I'm knitting on sock weight, when I'm knitting on sock needles in a 0 or a 00 in this case, it's just really hard on my hands, and it was really difficult. But once I got to the upper portion on the size 0s, it just seemed to be so much better. But I think that if I had knit the foot in the 0s, I think it would have been too loose because actually I started them on 0s and it was too loose. The sock would have been too big. But again, there is Cody. There is the pattern, and hopefully the pattern will be available for you to see very soon. Online it will be, and actually the pattern will be $6 for the final price, but for the whole month of December, as soon as I get it posted, hopefully, like I said, in the next day or so, it will be, for the whole month of December, it will be $3. So grab that pattern while it is half price for the first month, and then the price will go up to $6 come just a little bit after the beginning of the year. So let me put those back in this bag. I need to take photos of that a little later. And now let's go back to transition into winter shawl number 2. Again, I have it in one of my lowest bags. It's kind of a lowest bag day. I have two bags that aren't lowest bags, but all of the other ones are lowest bags. So here is my second transitioning to winter shawl. And again, like I said, I am only on clue 2. And I think I'm on like row 18 of clue 2. The last repeat of clue 2, row 18. So like I said, I have been trying to work on this every day, at least do a couple of rows to get through, but my main focus was to do the socks. But it's coming along, and before I know it, it will be complete. I am hoping to get it complete pretty quickly because I would like to send it to someone as a Christmas gift. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that is one of the works in progress. I'm still on the first skein. I got 4 skeins of this. This is Fable, Drops Fable, and I got 4 skeins because I figured I would make a pair of socks with it as well. But since I'm going to be giving this shawl away as a Christmas gift, I'm hoping that I have it finished in time. I don't know if I'll make socks or not, or maybe I'll make socks for the recipient. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how I feel about it. So that's the first whip. Let's see what we have next. The next one I've showed you before are my Into the World socks. I can't remember. In fact, I don't even have stitch markers on here to show you where I was the last time I showed you. I know that I've done a lot of them. Pretty sure that, oops, that's not good. I'm pretty sure that I had just either had one heel done and not the other one, and I was working up the heel, but they're coming along. These are my Into the World socks. I don't know. Yep, I do have the thing here. It is the Candy Bracelet. That is the colorway. And this is what they look like. And they are doing kind of like a little bit of a striping kind of thing. It's kind of at an angle, but I kind of like it. It's kind of cool. And this one is almost to the point where I can do the ribbing. I still have a bit of ways to go. I am still using the needles that I got from eBay. I'm still not totally enamored with them, but I do kind of like them. I like the Hiya needles better, but these other needles are honestly very good. You know, if I didn't have the Hiya and I didn't know about the Hiya, these needles would definitely be the needles that I go to. But I like the tips on the Hiya, and I do like the Hiya, but a couple of my Hiyas, for some reason the join is not that great, and I get a little bit of kind of not snagging, but it kind of sticks a little bit as I pull it through. So that can get kind of frustrating because it's not really smooth, but it's okay. But yeah, these I have no problem with the joins at all. These are just absolutely fabulous, the joins. No snagging at all, very smooth. I'm still not really sure if I like that, that bend in the needle. It takes a lot of getting used to, but it works. This yarn, I did have a spot where I had a knot, just one knot, but so my pattern is a little bit off on this one. You'll see how it goes up, and it's a little bit off right there. But that's okay. It's going to be under my pant leg, and I'm not really that worried about it. But I'm really liking these colors, and I hope to have these finished sometime soon. And this is in my Aran Laid bag. This is the one that I ordered with that has the pouch, the two pouches that I ordered, and what made me inspired to talk to Lois about making a bag that was similar, because this is what happens. But I had both of my socks out. So let's get these back in the right sides so I can show you the next project. I have lots of socks on the needles right now because I was going to a play and a movie, and if the socks were not in the right spot where I could just continue up and work up the leg, I couldn't do a short row heel in the movie theater. I think this is socks. Nope, this is a surprise for later. We don't need to look at that one. That one's a pattern that I'm working on that I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet, but I'm getting closer. These are my, I think all my nails are breaking while I'm on the show here today. These are my North Cabin Fiber Crafts Do you notice a theme here? Green, green, green. I don't know. I'm going green. Anyway, these are my North Cabin Fiber Crafts for the knit along. And they're coming along. Again, I don't have stitch markers. I don't know what my deal is this week. I forgot to put stitch markers in. But honestly, I don't think I showed you these before. So here they are. I've done the heel on both of them, just barely. And I'm just working on them. I've tried work on them when I'm doing my bouncing, which I haven't done too much of lately, mostly because my Fitbit had to be returned because it wasn't charging properly, which really sucked because now I have to wait for it to be returned back to me. But I'm dealing with it. Not well, but I'm dealing with it. So if you follow me on Fitbit and you're wondering why my numbers have dropped dramatically this week, it's because I have no Fitbit. So again, if you are doing the North Cabin Fiber Crafts knit along with us, then that would be Marty. Poor little baby has a cold. Goodness gracious! Bless you! Bless you! He might have to go to the doctor tomorrow. He's been doing a little sneezing the last couple of days. But I think it's just a cold. We're going to probably give him we're going to see how he does today. The sneezing has gone down dramatically in the last couple of days, so I think he's starting to get better. But I'm just going to keep an eye on him and possibly have to take him to the vet tomorrow. We'll see. Anyway, North Cabin Fiber Crafts. The knit along is for knitting or spinning, crocheting. We did have a coupon code back in September and October, and this is one of the things that I got. Actually, I think I got this at Knitopia, and then I decided to knit it up. But I really love this yarn. This is the Iditarod base, and I really, really love it. I'm going to have to get some more of this from Lori. It's nice and squishy and soft. Very nice. But yeah, I've been working on this a little bit when I've been bouncing. Like I said, haven't done a whole lot of bouncing because no Fitbit, and I'm not getting credit for it all the time. So I've been doing my basic walking and such, but not doing anything extra, which is kind of bad, but I'm going with it. I'm taking it as like a break week. Anyway, another Knitting's My bag. I think this one I got last Christmas. I did get a couple of new Christmas bags from her that I haven't showed you, but they're over there. I have some stash enhancement stuff that I haven't showed you, but if you're really interested in see what I got recently, you can go over to my page and I'll show you the bags as I use them. The next project, which is also in a Knitting's My bag. It's actually my Knitting Blooms bag. I have never used it before. I had Lois do these bags for me last year. And I gave a couple of away on the podcast. I had kept one for myself. And I just haven't used it. And I think I have a couple more to give away, but haven't done that yet. But this is it's actually a combination of the Big Shrug and the Little Shrug. And I think it's by, I can't remember who it's by, but I did set up a project page and it is on there. But it's a shrug where you cast on one end and you work all the way across. It's all flat, and then you seam up the arms at the end. And so you leave an opening for your body in the middle. And it's a lace shrug. I have not started the lace part yet. I have only done the cuff and the increases. But it's coming along. It was actually gifted, this pattern was actually gifted to me by Mary at Knitopia 2013. And then I realized when I went to Stitches Midwest that I really love this pattern because I saw it, a sample of it at Stitches Midwest, and I said, oh, I really like that. And then I looked at the pattern, and sure enough, it was a pattern that I had already been gifted. So I purchased this yarn at Stitches Midwest so that I could knit this shawl. And actually, the yarn is Lisa Souza, and it is in a gray blade colorway. But the colors were not done on, actually I think the colors were done on the same day, but the colorways are, one of them is much darker than the other one. So I am alternating colors. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Actually, you might be able to see it better on this side. But I am alternating every 2 rows, and I will do that for the entire shrug, which is not really a big deal. It seems to be going quite well. I'm trying to keep the carries on the back side so that when I sew it together, it'll be in the seam on the cuff, and then on the back side when I'm wearing it. So it's coming along. I was going to work on it today, but then I decided to do something else, and then I decided to scrap that project. Actually, it's not really scrapped, but I'll show you that next. So that's the little big shrug is what I'm calling it. I should have more progress on that next week. So the next project is the project that I was working on today that I just decided I did not like how it was going. And it is my colorwork mitts that I started. Now, the reason that I don't like how it's going is because I decided that I was not going to follow the pattern, and I was going to do what I wanted, and it was going okay until I got to the thumb section. And I might end up going back to this, but I kind of want to see, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I didn't rip it out. I have it here. But I did break my yarn because I thought, I don't know. But I can tell you that starting to do color work again, you kind of have to relearn it when you haven't done color work in a year. My edges of where my yarn joins around the, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, where it joins, you know, where the magic loop joins, the stitches are not very even there, and there's some stitches that are much bigger and wonkier than the rest. The first pattern repeat here, my tension was not very well, so I have a little bit of puckering there. But then by the second repeat, the puckering was reduced, but I still was having a little bit of trouble with that edge. I just wasn't pulling the stitches tight enough when I went around the corner. So I've got a couple stitches that are just a little bit big. You see there, that one is a little bit loopy. And this looks super duper bright on this camera. I don't know if it's how it's gonna show up, but it's looking super super bright. So I wasn't really sure if I was liking how it was going. So I did break my yarn. My plan is to start it again tomorrow. I was going to start it today, but I just didn't have it in me. So I'll start it again tomorrow, and maybe I will actually follow the instructions rather than just do it my own way. I wanted to do it a different way because I didn't want the edge stitches along the edge to be different from the pattern. I wanted the pattern to kind of flow so it looked like it went around the entire mitten. But I think that's part of my problem with the edge, that it's not laying nice because I have to do some funny stuff to make sure that the yarn comes around that corner well. I'm not explaining myself very well today. Anyway, I don't know. I didn't pull it out because I thought maybe I might go back to it, but I think I'm just going to start a second mitten, and if I like that one better, I just will rip this one out. But we'll see how it goes. I kind of like this one. There's no ribbing. There's only this braided cast on edge. It's a braided cast on, and then the I don't know what it's called. It's a type of braid. But I missed having the ribbing there, so I might throw in some ribbing there like I have done in my previous 2 pairs of fingerless mitts. I'm not sure about that yet either. But this would fit if I was happy with it. But like I said, I'm going to start it over and we'll see how that goes. But I did start them. And I'm going to use my green, the pink, and the white. Let me see if I can open this enough so you can see the colors. Oops, there goes the pink. Maybe I should just take the darn thing out. Green, pink, and white. So those are the colors I'm going to use for my mittens. And the pattern that I'm doing is Marley's Garden. But like I said, I tried to do it a little different than the way the pattern's written, but I'm not really liking how it's turning out. So I think I might go back to just following the pattern the way it's written and stop trying to be so anal about stuff. So we'll see. But those are the 3 colors that I'm using for this. And I am knitting this on US 1, which is a 2.25. That's what I'm using on this one. So far, not liking it, but I think that if I just try and follow the pattern the way it's written, I will probably be happier with it. And my final project, my final whip that I have to show you today is Sammy's blanket. Just checking to make sure Sammy's not down here because she'll probably want to get on my lap. Oh, and I'm right in the middle of a row too. I am doing the log cabin blanket for Sammy, and here's where I am. Actually, I'm showing you the back side. I thought I heard her come downstairs. And it's going to be in this purple, the cream, the turquoise. We're going to have this tan color as well, and also this dark brown. So those are the colors that it's going to be. And apparently I have a mess in this bag, which doesn't surprise me. This is my big bag from North Cabin Fiber Crafts, which you can fit an entire Afghan in easily. So I have been working on this. As you can see, I haven't gotten too far. I've got the first 2 squares completed and I've got the 3rd square started. I don't know if I'm going to make this blanket as large as the log cabin blanket is meant to be, because that would be quite large for a cat. However, I want it big enough so that I can scrunch it up and she can knead in it and she can cuddle in it and whatnot. So I will be doing quite a number more squares. I don't know if I'm going to get to the 10 that it calls for, but we'll see. I guess I'm just going to kind of go with it, and if I run out of yarn or run short of a color, I'll just kind of wing it. I think I started with a full ball of this when I started this square, and I'm almost done. I think I'm going to need another ball of yarn in order to finish this square. I have 2 more balls of the turquoise. So I have plenty of yarn, and I can, like I said, adjust the colors for the blocks as needed if I need to do that. But it's coming along. I really love it. I love this yarn, and I can't wait to make myself another blanket with it. But that's going to have to wait until this one's done, because every time I pull this blanket out to work on it, Sammy has to be on my lap, which is why I haven't made too much progress on it, because she's always wants to be in my yarn. So yeah, that's going to be a project that's going to take a while to do. So I think those are all my finished objects. No, those are all my whips for right now. I have done some spinning, but not that much spinning. I actually started the North Cabin Fiber Crafts fiber. This is the fiber that I started. And I don't have the colorway here, but I have a picture of the bobbin, because I didn't want to take it off the wheel. But here it is. It is so pretty. I love it. And I love the color that's coming out on the camera. I hope that that you guys are getting this actual color, because it's just a beautiful, beautiful color. It's got the green and the pink and the purple. And what I did was I have 2 braids of this, and I lined the braids up side by side, and they were almost identical in the color repeats. So I am spinning this braid out right from the beginning all the way to the end, and I made sure that I braided the other one in the same sequence so that I will spin that one out right, and then 2-ply them. And I am trying to spin it a little thicker than what I normally do, but I love it so far. This is, I think this is BFL, and I really, really like how it's spinning up. If you have not purchased any of Lori's Fiber, North Cabin Fiber Crafts, go over there and buy some, because it is awesome. It is really nice fiber. And this is the BFL. And I have a new bag from Michelle Stitches. We did a little bit of a trade. I had my Fitbit Flex that I have been wearing, which is the one I had to send back, and I had my Fitbit One that I had stopped wearing because I had the Flex, and I knew that Michelle did not have a Fitbit, so I asked her if she wanted to, I asked her if she wanted to buy it, and she says, well, how about a trade? And I'm like, okay, a trade is even better. And she made me this bag for my spinning wheel. And it goes, she has a little notch right there so that it will go on the little nail that's on the side of the ladybug, so it will hang down. And she put all these wonderful little pockets in it. And I can put stuff in all these pockets. I've got my oil, I've got a orifice hook, I've got my sample cards, I've got a nail file. In this pocket I have my wraps. Is this the wraps per inch? I don't know what this is called. It's the thing where you line up the fiber to see how thick it is. I think it's a wraps per inch, but this is also a wraps per inch. So I've got all those things in these little pockets, and it's just great. And I just hang this from the little nail, and I can just keep my fiber right in the bag and draft it out. It's awesome. Love it. And I'm also still working on the Fiber Nymph, which I did not take off of the wheel either. But these are all my little bits that I took my fiber and I just kind of broke it up into all these little bits. I am spinning this pretty thin, and I'm going to 4-ply it. I am on the 10th bobbin, which is actually it's 2 ounces. I took the 6 braids that I had and split them in half into 2-ounce braids, and then I'm spinning those 12 braids, and then I'm going to 4-ply it. So I still have quite a bit of ways to go on the 10th bobbin, and then I have one more braid that I need to split and then start spinning that, but this one has to be finished first. And that's all I've got for you this week. I feel like I just sped right through that. I have no idea how long I talked, but not very long. I think I started this a little bit after 5 o'clock, and I guess maybe it's about 45 minutes, because now it's a little bit after 6 o'clock. But yeah, I've got lots of stuff coming up for you. I hope to, make more progress on my knitting this coming week, or the next 2 weeks. I did record the tutorial for the podcast, starting a podcast. I have not watched it back yet, but the day that I recorded that, I felt like I was just jabbering on and was like all over the place. So I want to watch it again to make sure that all the information is included that I wanted to include, and that I didn't jump around too much. I sometimes do that. I feel like I did that today. I feel like when I don't record every week, I kind of get out of the habit of recording and then forget how to do it, or I just have so much to show you and I'm so excited about showing you everything that I jump around, because I'm like, oh, look this, ooh, look that, so I'm like a goldfish or a squirrel or something. Ooh, look, next shiny object that comes by, and my mind's over there, which is a lot of reason why I can't stay focused and do things straightforward, which is another reason why I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, a bunch of whips right now. Anyway, so again, if you have been doing the knit along with us for the mystery knit along, make sure you post your finished object. I am going to do one more drawing for from the chatter thread from the knit along, the mystery knit along. But I will wait and do that again the next time, because I didn't pull the number or anything like that yet, and there's been still some more chatter in that thread. So I am going to I'll pull that when I pull the winner of the finished object drawing. And I guess I need to come up with a prize for the finished objects. So I will do that. In fact, maybe I will do a Knitting Blooms bag. I think I have, like I said, I think I have another Knitting Blooms bag. So maybe I'll do a Knitting Blooms bag for the prize for the knit along. And again, the Cascadia, we're gonna have another book review next week. Yeah, lots going on, and I'm going to be doing some more tutorials in the next couple of weeks as well. So if you have ideas on what tutorials you'd like to see, let me know. So I hope you have a great couple of weeks, and I will be back to talk to you in a couple of weeks. Bye for now. A long time in the making with outstanding results, Barmaids delivers yet another excellent skincare formula. Simple ingredients, quick absorption, it's a healthy skin choice. ICE Serum is the perfect daily nightly eye treatment. With nourishing and protective antioxidants, this lightweight formula absorbs easily into the skin to deliver stunning results. ICE Serum is a powerful combination of natural ingredients which encourages skin regeneration, leads to tightening and toned skin due to astringent qualities, and contains potent antioxidants which help to slow down the visible signs of aging.